fractional factorial analysis, how to save both time and money. Suppose you're designing an experiment. Let P be the number of parameters to be tested, and let L be the number of levels to test for each parameter, and let N be the number of required experimental runs. A full factorial experiment is one in which each of the parameters is tested at each of the L levels, while holding the other parameters constant. We call this one parameter at a time. It turns out that for a full factorial test, N equal L to the P. Here's a simple example, x as a function of a, b, and c. Our goal is typically to optimize x. In other words, which levels of a, b, and c maximize x. Here there are three parameters, a, b, and c, so p equal 3. And suppose we want to test only two levels each, so L equal 2. Thus, for a full factorial test, 2 to the 3, or 8, experimental runs are required. I show this graphically here on an ABC plot. Each dot shows a required run, and we arbitrarily place the axes here at the lower level of each parameter, A1, B1, and C1. For example, the two red dots illustrate the variation of A from A1 to A2 while keeping B and C at their constant levels, B1 and C1, respectively. Notice that we're varying only one parameter at a time. Thus, we isolate the effect of A on X. We do a similar analysis for B and C. Now consider what is called fractional factorial analysis for the same x as a function of A, B, and C. In this figure, each dot again shows a single experimental run, and we're still testing two levels of each parameter. But now we strategically pick the 4 runs that we do. The runs are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4, and each run has a corresponding x value. Notice that we are no longer varying one parameter at a time. So to isolate the effect of each parameter, we must use what's known as level averaging. I'll illustrate this for parameter A. To analyze the effect of A on x, we calculate the level averages of x at level A1 and level A2. Since A1 is the left side of this cube, x A1 average is the average of points 1 and 2, which I illustrate here, and here's the equation. Similarly, the level average at A2 is x A2 average, the average of these two values. Note how parameters B and C are averaged in these level averages. This green line is parallel to the A-axis, so the green line approximates the effect of A alone. I do the same thing for parameters B and C. The level average for level B1 is the average of all runs where B is at B1. Since B is the vertical axis here, those would be runs 1 and 3, and XB1 bar is here, the average of X1 and X3. We do a similar thing at the top to get XB2 average, using points 2 and 4. Notice how parameters A and C are averaged in this case. The green line is again parallel to the parameter, which here is parameter B. So the green line here shows the effect of B alone on X. You can do a similar thing for parameter C, which I don't show here. We can also compare the experimental arrays for these cases. Shown here are the full factorial and the fractional factorial experimental test arrays. These are the arrays that you would use when conducting the experiment. Notice that we have reduced the number of required runs by a factor of 2, from 8 to 4. In summary, to analyze the effect of parameter A on X, where let's consider A2 being greater than A1, we simply look at how the level average changes with A. If the level average decreases, that means X decreases with A. If the level average goes up, that means X increases as A increases. And if there's hardly any change, it means X is not really affected by this parameter A. We do a similar comparison for the other two parameters. The results of this fractional factorial analysis are typically nearly as useful as those of the full factorial analysis, but with a reduced number of runs. Way cool, dude. I agree, Joe. In fact, for expensive and/or long experiments, fractional factorial analysis can save time and/or money. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. 1, 2, 3. That's all there is to it.